If you're a trader who's frustrated, busy, or just wants to up your trading game to the next level, I urge you to listen to this. I promise you, you're going to learn something new. This is not the same old stuff, some new indicator or trading system. I want to talk to you about a trading tool that assists you in managing your trades. I'm not talking about research or scanning. I'm talking about literally having software trade for you. If you have issues with trading psychology, sticking to your rules, hopium, patience, forcing trades, or anything like that, this is going to be a game changer for you. Hi, I'm Lee Gray. Um, this is one of the hardest things to do is to describe to you in a concise way what Trade Unafraid does and why it's important. It's very unique, and it's so unique. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear my cat over there, but he wants in. Um, so, Trade Unafraid is so dramatically different from other products, other trading platforms, that it's really hard for me to convey that to you. But it's really a game changer. And so I'm going to try. And I've never attempted to say it this way. I don't feel very comfortable talking on video. And of course, to top it off, I'm waiting to shower to go for Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm not exactly looking my best. So let's try and all overcome these things and let's get down to business, okay? Trade Unafraid is really, I think, an equalizer for us, for we retail traders. Um, we're competing against hedge funds and big players in the markets, and they're not sitting at a computer with their hand on a mouse trading. It's we're competing against algos. So, I mean, I'm not sure what the number is, but 70% of the volume or something like that is computers placing trades. So, and that number may be higher now at this point. I'm not sure. So, what we've tried to build with Trade Unafraid is something that essentially puts that same power in your hands. And it does that by wrapping every trade you take in a trade plan. And by a trade plan, I'm not talking about something as simplistic as an OCO bracket or, some. I mean, what can you do? You can't really. We pay a lot of lip service to trade having a trading plan, right? But I know that most people don't really do that the way we talk about it. We all kind of trade by the seat of our pants. Maybe not everybody, but if you're honest with yourself, there's a lot of kind of just, you know, you're not truly following a system the same way that an algorithm would. So if you struggle with discipline, Trade Unafraid implements and executes every trade within a trade plan, and that addresses any price action the market can throw at you. So it's not just like you got a target and a stop. That's sort of a trade plan, but it sure doesn't take everything into account. And my favorite example is, what if price comes one tick short of your target? Are you going to then let price go all the way back down and take the full stop? The full loss? Does that make any sense? So, somewhere in there, you've got to adjust. And chances are you don't have a really rigorous, reproducible system to decide where do you cut that? And are you going to let this almost 100% winner become a loser, or are you going to cut it at 50%? So my point is, if you trade by a plan, that is actually consistent and reproducible, done by a machine, then you actually get um, data that you can use to refine that. It's like, well, if I do 50% um, of my max gains, then how does that work out versus what if I make it 60% or 40%? You're going to get different results. The only way you can really know whether what are the optimal approaches is by doing it and then analyzing the data. And Trade Unafraid gives you that ability. Another thing is patience. I know we all struggle with not forcing a trade, and then the other side of that is missing setups that we see forming, but we're not looking at the moment. And Trade Unafraid is awesome for that. You can set it up looking for an entry, and it will enter based on your criteria, whether you're looking or not. And you can also do this using TradingView or some other software to actually send a webhook and trigger your trade plan that way. And then once you're in, Trade Unafraid will manage it according to your criteria. And if you're not familiar with what that means, the trade plan is made up of multiple tactics. So we have ways to put targets out there, and we have ways to put stops out there, and you can have multiples. So, for example, you might have one stop that is based on a candle trail, and you might have another stop that is based on looking for a hard reversal. So if you're long and you get a move that looks like a shooting star. So, basically a big wick up and then it looks like it's coming back down. You can exit near the high that way if you detect that you've got this kind of a retracement. So, and then in concert with that, you could also have what we call an MFE retracement, which is maximum favorable excursion retracement. So it's like a trailing stop, but it's geared so that you protect 50% or 70% or whatever percent you choose of that gain, that maximum gain. So all of these can work together, and the one thing's going to move to a certain level, and another thing's going to move to another level. But whichever stop gets triggered will get you out. So it's a great way to not let winners turn into losers, that kind of thing. Another thing is that Trade Unafraid will take losses mercilessly. Of course, you can override anything. The automation is not like handcuffs. You have the ability to make a decision in real time, but if you suffer with hopium, if you hang on to losses and let them get too big, that hurts you statistically. I can tell you that from experience. Your large losses are what makes traders fail. And so, if hopium's an issue, Trade Unafraid will honor your stops without hesitation as long as you don't mess with it. And it also it'll keep you from having psychological toxicity. That if your last trade was a loser and that keeps you from getting in the next trade, even though it fits your criteria, but you avoid that trade for some emotional reason, Trade Unafraid is not going to do that. It will just, it enters each trade with the same optimism that you may not have at this point. And that's important because consistency, the law of large numbers is a very important piece of the statistical aspects of trading. Because, I know that there are certain things you can count on with market movement, with price action. But for the most part, I think of the markets as, a random walk, because you never know when something is going to happen. So, trading by a plan and trading without any of the vagaries of human emotion is really useful, because it's so easy for us to get caught up in, um, gut feelings or emotional decisions, and that just doesn't serve you in trading. So having a specific trade plan using these tactics will help you have smaller losses, larger gains, and trade without ever getting married to a trade. Every trade is disconnected statistically and emotionally from anything that came before. So, another thing that you get from Trade Unafraid that you may never have thought of is you have the agility and ability to handle more trades than you possibly could hope to by hand. How often does the market turn all at once? Everything just starts dropping at the same time. Um, it would be great to be able to catch more of those by hand, but it's very tough. But if you have multiple trade plans all looking at different markets at the same time, then they can all enter, because it's all done by software. So you can actually catch multiple move, or the same move in multiple markets, by having trade plans ready to catch them. Another thing is, if you like to scalp, and it's like you enter and you instantly want to have targets out there. Trade Unafraid will do that for you way easier than you could ever do by hand. You wouldn't even attempt what it can do. So, it's one of the things I've been working on right now are algorithmic trading, and you don't have to code, you don't have to understand how to implement this in software or how to analyze it using data science. We've done all that for you. So one of the things I'm working on, or a thought that I'm working on right now, or premise, is you enter multiple contracts or multiple shares, and you take some very small gains very early on, very easy targets to reach, and then you let the runner go. So the whole point is get safe, capture some profits, and then just hope for a runner. And if you think about it statistically, you're probably going to have a lot of small gains or small losses, and then some outsized runners. And another thing you can include in there is the time of day. So, you're going to get those big moves more likely in the morning, and perhaps at near the close. So you have trade plans that only operate during certain periods of the day. So if you think about it, it's not very difficult in Trade Unafraid to do these kinds of algorithmic, smart things that are likely to be in uh, synchronization, or I'm not sure that's the word I want, but they're going to be in harmony with the way markets work. So, you one of my favorite things lately is just an outside bar on the 1 minute chart. Maybe that is it's very simplistic. There's probably better entries, but if you can catch outside bars on the 1 minute chart, you are hopefully going to see some of those continue. Um, and then there will be times when it fakes you out. But as long as you keep the losses small, then those runners should compensate and actually grow beyond what the losses are. All right, well, that's very in the weeds. I didn't mean to get to that level. But let's see. Oh, one other thing I wanted to talk about is, we trade for freedom, and the lifestyle of a trader can really suck. It's like you can agonize over every tick of the market. It's like every tick in your favor, you feel okay, and then every time it ticks against you, it's like, should I be in this? And that's no way to spend your life and your time. So, and the results don't depend on how you feel. It's going to do what it's going to do. So if you just let software manage it, it gives you the ability to end up with the same results, probably better because it's not emotional about it. And you don't have to, invest your time and life force in that. So, there was something else I wanted to say about. Oh yeah, yeah. If the other thing is, if you're in a trade and you need to do something in life, like take a call or be in a meeting, or spend a little time with your kids, or just go to the bathroom. I mean, I've had trades where it's like, well, it's going okay, but I can't wait anymore. And so what do I do? Trade Unafraid will manage it as if you're there. So, it's like kind of a funny subject, but it's reality. We're human. Um, so nature calls sometimes. So, I think that says most of what I wanted to say. I we have users who look at this website and they get it, and then so many other people. I think I have a hard time communicating all the value that Trade Unafraid provides, and so I'm trying in this video to actually express what it it offers, because I think it's so easy to miss all of this unique, powerful stuff. And this is not just another trading platform. This is a revolution. It's like it's a way for you to uh, trade in a powerful way, compete with the other algos in the market, and kind of reclaim your life. Um, so let's see, there was one other thing I wanted to mention about that. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, as I said, going back to the whole idea of trade plans, everybody pays lip service to trading with a plan. But if you're honest with yourself, it's like, do you really trade with a plan? Is your plan reproducible and consistent enough that journaling it makes sense? Because I know for myself, when I'm trading by hand, there's no telling how I'm going to handle the price action, because I don't really have a plan at that level. And I think if you're honest with yourself, if you're like most traders, you don't have a plan at that level either. Um, so you may have a trade journal, but if you don't um, if you don't manage things consistently, the journal is much more an emotional thing than it is scientific. Like, my taking a stop at 50% of the maximum excursion is too tight, and I need to reduce it to 40%. You probably don't have that kind of statistical analysis in your trading. And I submit that there would be some benefit to trading like that. So, all right, hopefully that helps you to understand why Trade Unafraid is a game changer, and why our users who have, for some reason, understood what it does, why they love it. All it takes is one, reduced big loss, or one trade that you catch that you wouldn't have caught otherwise, or one runner that you're able to hang on to increase your profits, and it'll pay for itself, and it'll do that on a daily basis. Um, and if you want to do algo trading, it can do even more than that. So it has automation that will be your wingman, but it will also improve the quality of your life and potentially trade without your involvement. So it kind of covers a spectrum, and you can do all of them at the same time. You can have some algo trade plans, and you can have some discretionary trade plans, and use them both at the same time. Try it for 30 days and we'll give you your money back if you're not happy. We have a trade plan vault. We have the ability to actually share trade plans. So you don't have to figure this stuff out from scratch. We have a training where you can learn how to do it, but you can also import other people's trade plans, trade them as your own. You can paper trade and just, see what you think. There are as many ways to trade with Trade Unafraid as there are systems out there. So you can basically trade anybody's approach to trading using Trade Unafraid. You can use TradingView or other ways to trigger trades externally if we don't provide the setup internally. But we have various ways to create setups. They're mostly based on price action or the strat, if you're familiar with that. So I think that's it. I appreciate you putting up with my very casual, very impromptu way of expressing what's in this video. I hope this comes across. I really, I'm trying to make things better for the retail trader. I think we are, as one of our users says, we're the product. It's like when they give you commission-free trading, that just shows you they have another way of making money. And so we are the product. They are interested in how we trade so that they can make money off of us. That's why they give us commissions free. And so I'm trying to level the playing field. I'm trying to give the retail trader an edge that, or at least give us a fighting chance, because they've got ways to, eat our lunch minute by minute, tick by tick. So hopefully Trade Unafraid makes us more successful. So that's it. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope to see you on the inside. Bye-bye.